Hiya, so welcome to another Key Stage 3 lesson. You may have noticed that I've been alternating each week between life skills and humanities. This is actually going to be a bit of a crossover. We're going to relate some of what we've been doing in life skills to what you've been learning about in humanities recently. So I'm going to direct you again to an Oaks National Academy lesson or set of lessons, which we get to if you Google Oaks National Academy and click on lessons, subjects, Key Stage 3, and this time you're going to click on citizenship. So we started in beginning of this academic year looking at your rights, and there are some citizenship lessons here. What rights should children have? Now, we're looking specifically at children, and the reason I said it's a bit of a crossover lesson is because that's what we've been learning about in history. We've been looking at Victorian society and how it changed. And one of the major changes in Victorian society, which I hope you've picked up on now, is the way that children were treated and the rights that children had. So at the beginning of the Victorian era, children were expected to go to work. They were expected to earn money. There was no welfare state. There was no safety net. If they didn't have money, they would starve. There were a certain amount of reforms put in throughout Queen Victoria's reign that helped protect children and meant that their rights were better and better protected. So our history unit at the moment is looking at how society changed over her reign, and we look specifically at how life for children would have changed. So we're going to go back again to the beginning of the life skills scheme of work and start to look at what rights should you guys have in this day and age. So I'm going to click on what rights should children have. There are a number of lessons here. All of these will be extremely relevant. So what rights are we entitled to? What does a right to education really mean? What can I do as a citizen to protect the rights of others? How do we protect the right to health? Are you getting your right to reliable and accurate information? And deliberative debate, how well are children's rights protected and supported in the UK? So the reasons these lessons are relevant. First of all, that should be lesson number 1, a revision lesson. So if you weren't with us in September, or you don't know, or you can't remember what I'm talking about in terms of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, you could go back to lesson 1. If you do remember the work that we did, we then need to turn to lesson 2. And I want you to think, what does a right to education really mean? And think about the fact that Victorian children did not have that right. They were not entitled to that. They just had to survive in any way they could. If they were rich, they could go to school. Again, didn't have to. And then again, interesting at the moment, obviously you can watch all the lessons, but this lesson here, lesson 4, how do we protect the right to health? And obviously that's very, very current in the situation we're in right now. And also this lesson here, we are hearing lots and lots of reports about false information being spread, and what should we do if we know that someone is sharing false information, particularly if that is someone in a position of power or in a position of authority. So lesson 5, looking at what is your right to get reliable and accurate information. So the lessons I would like you to look at this week are lessons 2, lesson 4 and lesson 5. Okay, as I said, some of this might be revision, some of it will be entirely new, so I hope you enjoy them.